We in the Moorish Science Temple of America called that a law. You call out to yourself while you maimed on the side of the road. Hey, because when you look into the eyes of man, you see a law. We call that entity, we call that spirit, we call that universal savior, universal intelligence of law. I give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet, noble Drew Ali. I give honor to all of y'all in the chat today, all of y'all that's going to be on the panel, whoever on the panel. We're going to talk about something today. It can be a touchy issue because all Moors don't see things alike. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali tells us in the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he pointed to each one with measure seem good unto himself. So some things we may not see alike, some things we might not agree upon, but at the end of the day, we are brothers. We are in the same struggle. You know, that same old iron hand of oppression of the pale-skinned nation of Europe, his foot is on our neck. It is what it is. We can't get away from it. So even if we have a discussion that we don't agree on all the topics and ideals, one thing for sure is that we are still under the iron hand of oppression of the pale-skinned nation of Europe. It is what it is. But nevertheless, we have to work together and try to get it up off us. You know, and this is just a discussion on some of the discoveries that the brother Love Ill have discovered. Now, let me first say, I was introduced to this brother by looking on Facebook, and it was a post up that somebody said that it was a post that the religious group, the Moorish Science Temple of America, matter of fact, let's do this so we can have a real introduction as to what we're talking about here. Hold on one second, family. I want to show you exactly what I was talking about. Work with me. I want to show you exactly what I was talking about because this is a part of the discussion. This is partially part of the discussion, shall I say. But let me go into what I seen on Facebook. I'll share it with you real quick and let you see what I'm talking about. So as usual, I'm on Facebook and I see this post. Mute your mic, my brother. I see this post, right? And on this post, it says that, here we go right here. And I'm gonna share it with you, family. Here it go right here. About to share it to you right now. Share it with you right now. So on this post right here, it says that the United States, a religious group in Florida, is suing the state on behalf of a man who investigators say is the leader of a multi-million-dollar Jamaican drug smuggling cartel. The suspect ringleader, Mark Reed, et cetera, et cetera. The link is on my page. You can go and check it out if you want to. Anyway, I'm gonna drift down towards the middle. Reed was arrested again under the name McCoy Smith after drug dogs hit his car and deputies found $300,000. I guess that's cash. He was eventually prosecuted under the name of Terrence Tubey. I'm just reading it as I can, and is now serving 12-year sentence. He pleaded no contest to drug trafficking and money laundering charges at Orange County, New Jersey last year. This was stood out to me. The religious group called the Moorish Science Temple of America is being sued, is suing the state. My apology. They're suing the state. The governor and court officials on behalf of Tubey, I may be saying it wrong, I apologize if I am, calling him McCoy Smith L. The leader of the group, Grand Sheikh I Love L, says authorities have no jurisdiction over anything with the Moorish Science Temple of America, adding that the temple is a body politic and members are protected class of people in a religious society and not subjected to the laws of Florida. Today on the show, we have the brother that actually drafted that situation to Florida. Let me stop the screen share. So today we have the brother on the show, and we're gonna he want to address the after we talk. And so I spoke on this. I had a show one time. I said, man, ain't no Moorish Science Temple of America representing somebody that sell dope. There ain't no better than that. You know how I do. I went in. I went all in. Went bunkers. You know what I mean? This ain't no Moorish Science. You know, he pleaded guilty or no contest, and then somebody gonna stand up. That's my position, and it remains my position. You know, this brother pleaded guilty to selling dope. You know what I mean? And now they have no jurisdiction. You know what I mean? Hold on, brother. You got your chance in a second. You coming, my brother. Wait for me. I gotta let the people know where my position was, and you can have the floor in a second. So that was my position, and it remains my position. Now, the thing is this. So I go to Chicago, and my brother, Love Ill, I'm giving a demonstration to the people. I'm turned up. I see Love Ill looking at me like this, just looking. Everybody else, you know, we rolling. We on the ether plane somewhere. Brother Love Ill like this. Like, why this brother staring at me like this? You know what I mean? Now, mind you, I'm from the home of the wire. I ain't tripping. It ain't that serious. But I'm still like, as I'm talking, I'm like, why is this brother staring at me like this? Anyway, I come off the stage or from the presentation, and the brother immediately, approaches me. Islam, more serious as ever. Me, I'm listening. He throwing me haymakers like, more, this is a body politic. I'm like, oh, slow down. What you talking about? You know who I am? I said, no, I said it. And then he explained who he was. And then we have a good conversation. And then it brings us to the show today that he wants to talk about the situation. So I think if I said anything wrong, my brother can clear it up for me. But that was how this brother ended up landing on Moorish World TV. And we're going to discuss this tonight. We're going to discuss mainly the object of the show is that he wants to express the trust. But my concern is that not only did he approach the authorities of the state of Florida in representing, saying that he represents the Moorish Science Temple of America, when we know that there is Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, there's Moorish Science Temple of America here, there, and everywhere. I mean, I think it caused a big confusion as to who really is filing this case, because there's so much confusion right now as to what is Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to the title Moorish Science Temple of America. But with that, I let my brother come in and introduce himself, and we gonna go from there. Hey, brother, I love it. Are you there, my brother? Unmute your mic. You gotta unmute your mic, brother.
Islam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hear you well.
Praise Allah. I rise giving praise to Allah, the Lord, governor, cherisher, sustainer, ruler of the worlds. I give hail and honors to our forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, purity made flesh. I give hail and honors to our prophet and illustrious prophet, Noble Ali, who is the love thought made manifest. I give honors to the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Adab Chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the executive rulers of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I give honors to this platform. Islam?
Islam, my brother. And with that, let me introduce the, is the sister in?
Yes, she is. She's right by me. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Sheikha?
Islam, brother, praise Allah. I give honors to the great God, its prophet, and the forerunner, Marcus Garvey. Honors to all the mothers out there standing up, educating their children. Honors
Islam.
to the president of Moroccan Empire and trust Prophet Noble Ali left. Islam. Islam is the law and the law shall live.
Islam. So I just want to say that we are the Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. to make that distinguishing, to distinguish that. Also want to say that we're not, we understand your position with regards to drugs and everything. And
brother, stand up. You know
we are in no way promoting anything that is unlawful. When we escaped the situation, we found out that the subject was pertaining to plants. And as you understand, plant is one of those things that's listed in Circle 7, Chapter 1, the plants. So we're not referring to the plant as a drug for intents and purposes of this show, so that we can be clear and understand that with the Islam's law and the law shall live, and law governs all events. So when we're demonstrating about plants, let's be clear. When you call the plants drugs, that is a characterization of propaganda, all right? Because in theory, spinach could be a drug. Any vegetable or plant can be a drug, okay? So now you get into semantics, and we can allow the media to dictate and determine and utilize to determine.
So brother, let me ask. So basically the brother got caught with a whole rack of marijuana. Is that what you're saying? But you're referring to it as a plant.
Marijuana, is marijuana a plant?
I'm asking the question, brother. I'm just saying yes or no. Let's keep it flowing.
So I'm just saying we want to put this in proper perspective. He got caught with a bunch of.
Did he get caught with marijuana that is a plant? That's all I'm asking.
He got caught with the plant named marijuana. Cannabis.
Okay, same thing. Okay, so I'm just asking, brother. Don't be on the defensive.
It's fine, brother. We're not on the defensive. There's no need for you to go into up in arms like that. We're here to have.
What I'm saying is that is it illegal in the state of Florida though?
You said the state of Florida. What about the state of Florida?
I said is cannabis illegal in those quantities or less, whatever, in the state of Florida?
Is cannabis lawful?
No, I said, is it illegal?
I would be. Is it lawful? Now you're dealing with semantics, whether it's legal or lawful.
I see how we go to okay. Is it against the law to have that that plant in the way that the brother had according to the authorities?
That is determined upon the status of the person that's dealing with that plant. As you know, the state of Florida has black codes instituted with regards to they have been labeling our people as Negroes, blacks, and colored. So there is this thing where they are labeling Moorish Americans as Negroes, blacks, and colored. So it's beyond the situation with the plants.
But the point of the matter is, hold up, brother. The point of the matter is those are like apples and oranges because we step away from Negro, black, and colored. So step away from the plant that is going to give you 12 years in prison. Or find a way to affect the politic and make it so you don't have the repercussions of going to prison.
Islam. Well, let me be clear about this. You said it's apples and oranges. What I'm speaking of is the people, our people, being wrongfully designated as Negroes, blacks, and colors, notwithstanding the issue with plants. And this is not just the issue with the state of Florida. This is the issue with all of the states. This is part of why we have the status correction piece in line so that the states can be put on notice individually as to the correct status of Moorish Americans.
So listen, who gives you the authority? Well, so I'm not trying to browbeat you, brother. I'm just trying to get some clarity. You say that you are the Moorish Science Temple of America Body Politic. That is the full name of your organization?
Yes. The Moorish Science Temple of America's Body Politic is the Prophet Noble Drew Trust.
What is the name of your organization? Is it the Moorish Science Temple of America Body Politic?
It also can be looked up 10.10.5. You can go to the website. You go to the website online, Karen Yarbrough is the Cook County Recorder of Deeds / Registrar.
No. I'm asking you, brother. You're having an interview. I'm asking you, what's the name of your organization, so we can be clear. Because you got to understand that if somebody just watching this and you say, I'm the Moorish Science Temple of America, then we got to qualify how you become the Moorish Science Temple of America.
This is the organization. Okay, are we clear? You see that?
Oh no, we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I'm
that's where we at. You're asking about what it is that I'm part of, the organization, and this is it. And that's where the distinction needs to be made. See, so time out for games. We're not playing any games. That is the body politic that you have to be connected to if you're claiming to be the Moorish Science Temple of America. So with all due respect, you have many groups out there that can say or that can claim that they are the Moorish Science Temple of America. But see, it is law that governs all events. You have to be able to show and prove. We have a succession document filed with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds office that is done. This is an act of law that comes into trust law. And what this does is this links to—
Hold up, you're moving too fast, brother. You're moving too fast.
All right.
You're moving too fast. What I'm trying to first to do is qualify. So you're saying that you're the only real Moorish Science Temple of America because law governs all events. Is that what you're saying? I want to qualify who you are first. So you're the only legit out of all of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You're saying that you're the only legit one. Is that what you're saying?
Islam. What I'm saying is I have done the research to link myself to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's trust that he has filed here in Cook County.
I need you to answer the question. Are you saying that you are the true Moorish Science Temple of America? Because of what you have discovered. Is that what you're saying?
Islam. Let me rephrase it like this. That's just like if you were asking the mayor of the city of Chicago, are you the true mayor of the city of Chicago? How would you expect him to quantify and qualify that, sir?
No, the reason why, the thing is, listen, we got different sorts of grand bodies. You know that, brother. You've been in a few of them.
Islam. So that's why I'm explaining.
Let's not act like that they don't exist. So I'm asking you, it's like a yes or no question. Are you saying that you are the legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America?
Islam.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes. And the research.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, is because.
Okay, the research in a second.
Can I qualify that in
a second? Yes, it's coming in a second. What I'm saying is, when I ask a question, I'm just asking that you just answer the question, and then you won't have the floor. You know what I'm saying? To be able to qualify whatever you want to say, the floor is going to be yours. But you know, when we're doing an interview and we're having a conversation, you got to understand that people are listening, and people want to know before you start to get into your body of work and your body of understanding. I got to ask the question that might make you uncomfortable, but nevertheless, on the back end, you'll be able to explain. You feel me, my brother?
Islam.
So now you're saying that you're the original. Matter of fact, you're the legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, I'll let you go in for a few. I might cut you off as we get it because we're going to have to dialogue back and forth. But I'm going to let you go, and you qualify how you're the legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America. The floor is yours, my brother. You can bring the sister in too.
Islam. Okay, this is how it goes. We joined the Moorish Science Temple. Well, I joined the Moorish Science Temple of America back in 1994. And subsequently, my brother joined in 1995, and then the rest of my family, my mother, my sisters, brothers, uncles. So the whole family was members of the temple. And at the time, Brother P. David Zeal was the Grand Sheikh. Okay? So in 1997, Brother passed formed. This was soon after I went through the Adab Chamber, right? And the question was raised during the administration of Brother Braswell Bay, where's the campground, school grounds, schools? And this is during the time where the administration was having candy bar, peanuts, fundraisers, and your leadership was at the time a part of that body. So This is before Facebook, and this was done in the person, in face-to-face, because here you're looking at a faithful member that brought his whole family in, all right? And never lost faith, never turned in his Carter button, always remained faithful to the prophet, to Allah and his prophet, right? So the question was brought before the leadership. Why are we not accessing campgrounds? Why are we not accessing burial grounds? Why are we not accessing the land? Because see, basically, nationality is determined by the land. If you're not accessing the land, then it really don't mean nothing to be wearing the fez and turbans and all that, because it's all about accessing the land. That's really basically what it boils down to. So there is a distinction I want to make, because there are a lot of groups out there that think that they're legitimate because they're having Friday Holy Day meetings and Sunday school and things of that nature, the Koran class maybe, and they may be having sheep meetings and things of that nature. But that doesn't make you the real Moorish Science Temple of America. You have to have a nexus to the Prophet Noble Ali in the law, as it is law that governs all. I want to take you straight to the literature, okay? And we're going to draw for the end of time fulfilling of the prophecies, verse 4. And this is how we can claim to be the only legitimate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, due to understanding the literature and unfolding the understanding of what is actually saying to us from the trust perspective. Check this out. It says the Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc. So that means that even though the Prophet Noble Ali is no longer in the flesh, he is still putting in work. He's putting in work within the trust. See, this is a special feature of trust law. So there had to be a feature. Now, when we went down to do some research after challenging the leadership, because again, we had a copy of the 101s and there was a jacked up, it wasn't the actual original like this, because this is one of the hallmarks of our administration. This is also further proof that we are the only true legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America, because this is the document that should be on the back of every member's 101s. Now, how did we get to this point? The assistant Grand Sheikh was attending the meeting. This is in the infancy of her membership. Brownsville base, saying from the podium, go downtown, look it up, look it up. So you know what? That's exactly what she did. She went and looked it up and found out that this was totally different. It was something totally different from what you see here. This is the legitimate thing, and this is what it should be. But what she saw was totally different. Okay, so again, we went to challenge the leadership and asked them, well, why don't you have the original signature of the Prophet on the back of 101s? They said, so what, and? Well, I'm gonna tell you why that's significant and why that proves that ones could be traitors. Because, you know, one, you have the signature of the Prophet. Matter of fact, it's not just a signature, one signature. It's the Prophet's signature, it's the recorder's signature, and it's the notary signature. The recorder's signature up here, the notary. That's 3 signatures. Okay, everybody? And in addition to that, you have the word trustees lined out and sheiks in its place. So that's another clue that it's a trust. Because why? The sheiks have powers and duties similar to that of trustees, but yet you have sheiks claiming that they're grand sheiks and this, that, the other, and they're only adepts because they don't have an understanding of how to access the Prophet's trust for the benefit of the people. We're going to allow the sheiks to go into the platform, the 10 points that the objectives, the true objectives of the Moorish Science Temple of America as brought to us by the Prophet Noble Ali. So, something you want to say, brother?
Yeah, before the sister go in, what exactly, when you say a trust, what exactly are you saying? Are you talking about money? Are you talking about money? What are you talking about?
All right. When we speak about the trust, we're speaking about several different aspects of it. On one hand, we're talking about the land. Okay. So stop. On the other hand,
you're saying that the Prophet left land for the Moors. That's what you're saying?
Okay, now I'm going to have to go into another aspect of it because chapter 47 within our trust.
No. I just want simple answers, and then you can go in deeper. So when you say a trust, you're saying that land and money or whatever, did the prophet leave land for Moors? Is what you're saying?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what.
And then the prophet may have left some finance, whether it be gold, silver, whatever the case may be.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, go ahead, brother. Carry on. I just want to qualify what you're saying, brother. I like simple answers. You know what I mean? And then you can go on and dig in. But go ahead, my brother.
All right. So now the trust is set up. It's a special type of trust. It's known as an express trust, and it's known as a body politic. Now, it has the potential to acquire property from the statutory perspective. And it also has, the way the property has been acquired is through an express trust, through an abstract of title. So when you're looking at the back of the 101s, what you're actually looking at is a certificate of title, because the title deed to the land is actually chapter 47 within our Circle 7 Koran.
Okay, brother, let me ask you a question. Since you figured this out, how much land have you acquired so far?
Islam. First of all, let me state that I speak as an authority on real estate. I became a realtor back in 2000.
How much land have you acquired so far in finance?
How much land and finance have I acquired?
Yeah.
For you, brother, there have been numerous properties that have been conveyed over to the temple. In fact, if ones pull up the trust, you will see one of the properties that was transferred over to the trust. One of the, and it's the first at the top list of all of the documents that pull up. So that's just an example. As far as what we have done personally, our personal exploits, what I want to say is that we can qualify what we're saying because we went through real estate school to become a realtor. So we know about the whole, how to
where can you tell me where this property is located that we may look it up and research? Man, no, not by being told. Do you
look up? That's why I said, that's why that's going to be done.
Can we get the address? Can we get the address?
Trust. That's so, hold on, let me explain something.
If you give me the address while you're talking, I could look it up because I deal with properties too, and I can look it up and I can find out who owns the property that you're talking about. So let's get the address real quick.
The trust, as I explained to you, that would be a first example.
The address of the property, brother, because that'll make it easy. I really don't want to go into the trust thing. You're gonna talk to trust, but I know how to find out who owns every property if you give me the address.
Well, if you're gonna look this property up, you're gonna do it the way I'm telling you, brother. You're gonna look up the trust, and then you're gonna see the property.
It don't work like that. When you look up a property, right? I can look at a property in any state, and I can tell you who owns the property. Just all I need is
we all know how to do that, but what I'm saying is this is for the people, and this is a teaching point to show you how to look at the trust.
You know, prophet, know what you need. Hold on. I can't let you do that, brother. You got to qualify as you go along. You just can't talk. You got to show and prove today.
But we're doing it, brother. So by building up the trust,
I'm gonna write down. What's the address? I'm write down. While you talking, I'm gonna write it down, and we just gonna keep the show going.
When you put up the trust, you'll be able to write down the address then, so everybody will see.
You don't know the address. Just say you don't know the address that they transferred.
I know the address, and I'll give you the on the trust.
Bro, if my parents left me a trust, right? I would say the address is this, and this one was left to me. I pull it up, and when I see the name, who's the owner of it? I don't have to dig up the trust. Just give me the address. Let's keep it simple.
Well, why don't you want to look up the trust, brother? If I'm explaining to you, that's how you see the property. You should.
I'm not good at that. I'm better with just looking up addresses.
Have you ever?
Okay,
because hold on, let's be clear. Hold on, bro. Look, now you brought up the question as to whether or not there.
Come on, bro.
There is a trust. And that's a fact. And here's the thing. Have you ever looked up
Yes
the trust,
or no?
brother? Yes or no?
Bro, no, I haven't. But the
So,
point
okay, wait a minute. So now, hold on now.
Yeah,
Hold on now. Now you need to look up the trust and
no,
get
no, listen.
instructions on looking up the
Interview,
property,
brother.
and then you will see the property that
Bro,
you're asking the
That's what you
question.
need to do first.
See, brother? See, you get everything you want by following instructions, good brother.
Hey, bro. Nah, what we doing now is with my brother called Buck Dance.
Cook County Recorded Deeds Office.
No, brother, we can't be buck dancing, brother.
Look up the Cook County Recorded Deeds. Google it. You can Google the Cook County Recorder of Deeds.
Brother,
When you get to the website, go under search records. Go under search records. And when you pull up search records, it's going to take you to another screen. And then you pull up search criteria. And then when you click on search criteria, a drop down box is going to come down. And then it's going to say trust document number. And then that's when you click on that. And then you type in 10105905. And then when you click enter, everything's going to pop up on the trust, including that one property that you were asking about. That's under the trust.
I'll look it up later.
That's four. I mean, that's 3-4 different steps.
I'll look it up later. That sounds like a whole lot of
Why you wait to look that up later, brother? Why not look it up now to confirm this?
Hey, send me the link, bro. That's just confusing. Anyway, come on, brother. I'm gonna let you go, and then we go bring anybody else and talk about the trust, bro.
Let me ask you a question, brother.
I don't believe you now. I don't believe you now. Yeah,
do you believe that
it was winning me at one time, but now, brother, I'm a little sketchy because you can't give me the address that was handed over to you. But go ahead, though.
Hold on, brother. Do you believe that the Prophet Muhammad set up the trust?
I don't see no evidence of it. No.
You don't see no evidence of it. Okay, so going onto the website and following the instructions I gave you, you can see that as. By the way,
what's the website, brother? What's the website?
This information to this good brother over a month ago. How do the Prophet's trust?
Brother,
So,
what's the address, brother?
Good brother, hold on, hold fast. Are you telling me that after over a month, you have not taken the occasion to look up the Prophet's trust, and you were sent written instructions on how to do so?
Bro, I looked at that information, and to be honest, to me, was mumbo jumbo to me. I'm a simple guy, bro. You can't be mad at me because I'm a simple guy. Make it plain to me.
Now, hold on. All right, okay, brother. All right, that's fine. So
you can't be mad at me.
All right.
I want to go to Zillow. Send me to Zillow. I ain't trying to do all that other stuff. I ain't no lawyer.
All right, it's live. We give honors to you for that, and for you being honest about that. And let me ask you a question. Do you have any attorneys planning to come on this platform this evening?
No. What I'm going to do, my brother, is I'm going to look up the trust. Where do I look up the trust? Where do I look up the trust? Give me the address. Give me the email. I mean, the website. What you call it?
It's the Cook County Recorder Deeds.
All right, go ahead. Continue talking.
Okay, you go into her website, and then when you get to her website, her name is Karen Yarbrough. You want to go into search records.
All right, and then search records. Okay.
Okay, now when you get to that part, you're going to get to a page. It's going to at the top. It's going to say search criteria.
Bro, this don't even look like a legitimate government site. It ain't on a government site.
This is a legitimate government site. This is a Cook County Recorder Deeds website.
Bro, but this is a .com. You know, county. You know the government got .gov. Stop playing. But okay, search records.
This is legitimate Cook County website.
Okay. Do you want me to search records and do what else?
Then you go into search criteria.
Okay. Search criteria. My bad. Search. Go ahead. You can keep talking, brother. The people listening to you.
You want to go into trust document.
Search.
And when you get into that,
I don't see search criteria on here, brother.
Huh?
I don't see search criteria. I see search records.
Okay, click on search records, and that's going to take you to the next page.
All right, go ahead. You keep talking, brother.
Then you want to go into search criteria once you get to that page. There's probably going to be a pop-up blocker. You want to click on that so that you can pull up.
A pop-up block on a government website, brother? This ain't a government website, I'm trying to tell you. I know what government. Okay, what's the property number or the deed number? This say a property identification number.
Okay, you want to go into search criteria.
Search, okay, all right.
And now it's going to give you the option to say, do trust document number. So you want to click on that.
Trust number?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See,
Okay.
that's how you know it's a trust. So now this is going to prove you wrong. It's going to prove all the necessary.
Go ahead.
Look at 105905, sir. And this is going to prove. And now you can't say you don't know it.
All right, I'm going to share this with the people.
You click on enter. Now, you know what? This is the record. See, that's right. Now, forever,
what you want me to do? Now, what you want?
Can say that trust does not exist.
Brother, can you calm down and tell me what the number is, brother?
You know what the number is, 1010-5905.
5905. Okay, so I'm going to search that.
Now, what's the first one? That first address up there?
It's the Kensington Drive.
That's your house right there. And we put that out there, sir. Look it up, sir.
Okay, hold up, brother. So you saying
and that's the trust, sir. Do you see it, sir? Do you see trust number, sir? Do you see 1010-5905, sir? Do you see that it's a trust? Quit playing. Quit playing, sir.
Are you finished?
Quit playing, everybody. Quit playing with it. Quit playing with the prophet. Quit playing with the law and its prophet.
And brother, for the record, Islam, this is Assistant Grand Sheikh.
First of all, the brother getting too hyper, so I'm gonna just mute him for a second. We're going to look into this trust while he's talking. We're going to see when it was created. This was created 1984, according to this little thing right here. But the index posted through 12/31/84. So we need to qualify that this was created back in 1926 through 29. If we can qualify that, then we might have something. Other than that, I'm gonna unmute you, brother. Other than that, brother, you got to qualify when this was put down. You just can't go to, this is not a government website. You just cannot go to Cook County Recorder of Deeds, and I'm gonna go to Cook County website in a minute. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna show you the difference between a government website and a Up Jump the Boogie website. But brother, come on, unmute yourself and go ahead and talk. Go ahead, brother. Unmute yourself.
Islam. So the proof is document 1010-5905, which is dated 1928, signed by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. On which day? July 20th, 1928. And here's the document, sir, 1010-5905. And that's your proof right there, sir. It's qualified. It's been qualified.
Islam, it has been qualified. And I would just like to say this is the Assistant Grand Sheikh, is to the Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. I had a lot of doubt coming in, and the Prophet has taught us to do our research, study, and investigation. Upon coming into the Moorish Science Temple of America over 15 years ago, I had a question. And being that I did go to the college, and real estate law is one of the subjects I took up. So therefore, I had a real estate professor to authenticate yours truly, 1010-5905. The only thing I wish is that I could have taped this man's reaction, seeing the abstract title to 5 continents. He told me what I had. I had no idea because I needed to have it authenticated. This man held it up and said, this charter, this deed, where did you get this from? Who gave this to you? How did you get it? It should be locked in a safe. He sent someone down to City Hall while I waited in his office with the Sheikh, Grant, the Sheikh at the time, to confirm that this document is real. And this is, it has been authenticated. For the record, for the audience, for the Moors that are listening, there's no doubt that what Allah has sent the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to do. And what we need to do is get up with what is taking place, because what it can do is this document can help us to produce and manufacture the things that we sell. This document can help us to market, to sell our products, and also to bring our schools aboard to advance our posterity. This document can help us build our hospitals that we need for our children and elderly. This document can also help build recreational facilities for our youth and age, and also put our temples up so that we can continue to propagate the faith. This document will help spread our newspapers, spread our interest, and help the brothers and sisters all over the world. This is why the body politic is so important. Because this document can put us in business.
Why aren't y'all doing it? Are y'all doing it?
It's not, brother. You are y'all, and this is what this document 1010 is all about. Unity, brother. Unity is what's needed, because the checks are not just for one individual group. The checks that need to be issued to the Moorish in North America is for all of the temples. It's for all of the members in the temple.
But y'all are the legitimate.
We can get paid. Islam.
But y'all saying y'all are the legitimate heirs. So therefore, y'all should have a claim to this. Why don't y'all have this stuff?
Y'all.
It's wrong, brother. It's not an isolation thing. First of all, let us understand this. We're not trying to isolate ourselves and say we are the only Moors that are faithful and love the prophet. Okay, let me be clear about that. Okay, there is let me be clear on that, because see, I don't want it to be misconstrued that we're speaking down to the members, because we understand that there are a lot of members that have love for Allah and His Prophet, but they are under a leadership that does not understand the fiduciary relationship that sheiks are supposed to have to the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, not just as members, but as beneficiaries to the present Moroccan Empire. Islam.
We got a brother in the chat that's pretty fast on that. And a brother got the address that says that you're not the owner, nor is the Moorish Science Temple of America. The public record states that Naaman Gordon is the owner of 9355 South Cape Drive, Chicago, Illinois. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct, because now you're going according to a chain of title system. I thought you said you wasn't going to have any attorneys online, but let me go even further and deeper into that.
No, I got intelligent brothers in my. I got intelligent brothers.
Let me finish. You have a chain title.
Do you own this property?
Hold on, brother. Let me finish. First of all, it's not me. It's the temple that owns the property. Okay.
The temple owns the property. Who is?
Hold on. Did you not just pull up the trust? Did you just not pull up the trust?
Bro,
and see, hold on. If you're not, hold on. I thought you said you were not an attorney. So if you're not speaking on that as an attorney, are you? And who is the person you got that information from? It's because I'm explaining to you that, sir, there are two different systems of recordation. You see?
So I'm gonna mute him again. We're gonna try to find out who this guy is, Naaman Gordon. Shout out to Damani and Kosi. You know what I mean? Who is Naaman Gordon? If we can find out who that is, we can find out if the trust is legit.
Hold on. Now, hold on.
Because he don't own this. Our Lovell don't own this property, nor do a Moorish Science Temple of America own this property according to public records. Come on, brother.
Okay, it's live. First of all, Damani and Kosi, we go back to our days at Coldwell Banker, all right? So first of all, you know, we're speaking about a different recordation system, all right? Now, again, if you're an attorney, you have a law license, you need to produce that right now, because now you're making the determination that the Moorish Science Temple of America is not on title for that property, and it is. And it can be challenged. Hold on. It can be challenged in court, sir. So for you to say that, you need to be able to totally, truly back that up, because at the end of the day, it has been absorbed by the trust. And there's evidence of that on the record. Now, do those people have the right to own property? Here's the question. Did they receive permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, sir? Because I'm taking you back to the scripture right here.
No, you're not going
hold fast, because we're dealing with the law here. All of them is all events. You're not going to cut this law off on you, brother. Now, this is Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. And we're going to take you straight to verse 6. It says the Moabites from a...
Bruh, this show ain't going to go well. I'm telling you now. This brother is not qualifying nothing. He's not qualifying anything. I just want the brother to qualify something.
You gonna cut me off while I'm reading the law, brother?
Brother, yes, I'm gonna cut you off, brother.
While I'm reading the law? These are the prophet's words, sir. I'm explaining to you how it cannot be that other person's property. So did that person get permission from the pharaohs of Egypt? That's what I'm saying, sir. Whoever your name is.
So
yes,
sir,
sir,
but one at a time.
Okay, brother.
That because the brother or the European or whom have you that owns the property on 9355 South King Drive in Chicago, Illinois, because they can get the permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, it's not their property. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying, brother, to you that I have been informed by a real estate attorney that stated once it went up under that trust, 1010-5905, it's gone.
So who
now,
is naming?
You can challenge that. You get an attorney, a real estate attorney, or get you an attorney, brother, so you can understand, because it's over your head. And this is your show. But this here, brother, this kung fu is over your head, with all due respect. You have to understand trust law. Once they go up under the trust, brother,
you think it's all gibberish. How you gonna understand it, sir? Or anybody else for that matter?
Brother, what I'm saying,
real talk.
If it's all gibberish to me, it's your job to help me understand, and you're not doing a good job.
Well, if you put me up while reading the laws, how you gonna get to understand it, sir? See, you don't. See, the problem is you don't want everybody else to get to understand it. I'm reading to you, and I'm giving you the understanding to break it down.
Let me do this. I got a brother here. And who is that? Who is that in the chat? Let me have my brother come in real quick, brother. Get yourself ready, brother. I'm gonna give you the floor again. I think that's my brother. I gave you a man there. Are you there, my brother?
Islam, I'm here, brother.
Islam, my brother. So, brother, welcome to the chat, brother. Let the people know who you are, my brother. Introduce yourself and see what you can add to the conversation, my brother. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Islam. I rise, giving all praise to Allah. I also like to extend honors to all of you, for when man honors man, he honors his Father God, Allah. I mean, it's definitely been interesting this evening. One thing I will say, you know, my first mind on this topic is that the brother Love Ill, peace to you, brother. He definitely has, I think maybe somewhere along the line, I think some of the information might have got misconstrued. You know, the temple itself does have the power to operate like a trust. So in that, I think the brother is on the right track with that. But I think when you look at what he also said, it's a body politic. A body politic itself can't be a trust, but it can be a corporation or it can be a religious corporation. So, you know, I think a lot of his ideas, you know, run congruent with some of the facts, but I just think it's a little misconstrued. And I see it often, you know, in the movement. And it's just like I said, it's just a misunderstanding from my point of view. I'm also in real estate. So I understand there's lots of different, and when you go to different jurisdictions, laws change. So, you know, things do change from state to state. But as far as the temple itself, it is not a trust, but the temple does function much like one, or it does have the ability to function like a trust. So, you know, there's a lot of things that was said, but I wanted to clear that up first and foremost. Islam,
brother. You can carry on. Let me stop for a minute. Let me hold on, my brother. Let me first entertain my family with this. What you see on the screen share is the Young People's Moorish Retreat that is going to be happening in Detroit, Michigan. It's held by the brother J. Fuqua Bey. That's the Grand Sheikh Fuqua Bey's son. He is trying to get all the young people together on an each one teach one basis so we can all level out as young people and advance ourselves through the ideal of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as well as through life in general. I'm asking y'all to support this endeavor. The brother has a GoFundMe. It's at the bottom of the page. You can't miss it. And I'm going to read it, what he has here. The purpose of the Young Moorish Retreat is an opportunity for young Muslims around the country to establish bonds with Moors outside of their immediate Moorish community, create healthy relationships, learn life skills, revisit our fundamental principles, preserve these holy and divine teachings, have consideration for our nation as a whole, and cultivate a thought of community. Also gives the chance for the children to learn how to take their place in the affairs of men. This is a young brother on the come up. If you ever, what I mean on the come up, I've heard the brother speak at the Grand Major Temple off of Horn Street. The brother spoke this weekend at the men's retreat in Washington, D.C. The brother is trying to do something. He's a young brother. He's a young brother stepping up to the plate to make something happen. So I'm asking y'all, if y'all can drop $5, $10 into his GoFundMe so he can help to bring people out to Detroit. You can reach him at YPMNL Retreat. If you are in the Detroit area, you have children, man, bring them out, support. The address is 15784 Wyoming Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48. Right here, 48238. And it's at the Each One Teach One Center. I'm going to put this up again at the end of the show. It's from the Young People's Moorish National League, June 23rd through the 25th, Detroit, Michigan. I'm asking for y'all to support that because we always talk about what the younger generation doing. We always talk about the killing. We always talk about they don't listen. We always talking this. Now we have a young brother trying to do something, and he need our support, and we should support him. Period, point blank. All right. So, Brother Hernandez, any more, my brother?
Yeah, it's a lot. A few more things I would address. One of the things I actually listened to a show from a brother last summer, and some of the statements he made, you know, I definitely took note of. I wanted to get more clarity on what the brother was speaking of when he spoke to the deeds of our vast estate, where they are and what they are. That was just one question. Another question I had is regarding the trust number, the said trust number 1010-5905. When I researched that information on that website, I noticed, and like you said, you saw the date 1984. And then if you go to page 2 to the first file, and under that, you'll see it's dated 2010. So those dates just don't really match up well as far as being from the prophet's time. Now, I don't negate the use or the you know, the utilization of a trust and how, you know, how it should be used. You know, that's a whole nother conversation, but I just think that that conversation isn't the conversation that, you know, Moors coming into the movement should be having. Because when we're dealing with trust, of course, we're dealing with, you know, we're dealing with our estate planning. So, you know, when we're dealing with estate planning, a lot of our Moors, a lot of our people, our brothers and sisters aren't at that level to start getting into estate planning. Not that, you know, it's never too early to get into it, but you know, most of our brothers are trying to figure out, you know, how to pay the bills. So people who are still trying to figure out how to pay the bills day to day really aren't in a situation where estate planning really should be the, you know, a top priority or something that they are pursuing on a daily basis. Because you should be more focused on getting into position to be able to start planning your estate. In addition to that, you know, I had questions on the Moorish law services, you know, because I heard some of the things that they said when they were dealing with, you know, them not being lawyers. But let me actually quote what the brother said that I thought was interesting. Let me see here. He said that it operates much like a law firm, and so you know, my first thought was, well, what does much like a law firm mean? You know, how do you quantify that? What is like the law firm and what is not like the law firm? And you know, because I have to always use the prophet and the temple as my ruler, my measuring stick. And when I look at the prophet and how he demonstrated, he had 2 lawyers. You know, so I mean, I don't know what that means, so I would like further clarification on that. Also, there was another statement made, and I don't know how it related to this whole trust situation, but it was made in reference to it, and it was dealing with, he called the flag, you know, the U.S. flag a banner, much like Walmart or Target. And, you know, I just, you know, based on just the basic definition, if anybody was to just look those things up, look up the Walmart banner, you know, then look up what he called the Star Spangled Banner. And what you'll see is the Star Spangled Banner was just one version of the United States flag from an earlier time, the 1800s. So I'm really not sure what was the reference and, you know, what was the connection there, because it really kind of didn't make sense to me. But, you know, so that was a couple of my questions. Let's see here.
And brother, I want to add one. You can carry on, and then you can take the floor, brother Lovell. My question is, why can't we find an earlier recording from the dates that's on this demonstration? We should be able to find an early recording if it was set up by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This actually just looked like some data entry by somebody else. Even right here, it's executed 8/5/2014, 9/5/2014. And then we go back and we have a lot of dates about this. I mean, I know somebody is probably keeping up with something, but can we have the original recording from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to qualify what we're talking about? Brother Nandez, you can take it from there, my brother. And then we'll let the brother go in.
I'll just say that was what my main question. When I looked at the dates, it just didn't match up. And, you know, I was trying to see, you know, if there was some validity to it. And, you know, like I said, trusts do play a major role and we can utilize them, but the temple itself is just not a trust. The prophet did scratch out the trustees on the document, but that's because it was a religious corporation or a corporation. And when you're a corporation or religious corporations, that's just what it is. That's why they have corporate trust. Excuse me. That's why they have.
Yeah. What school?
That's why they also have religious trustees. So that, you know, that's my thing. Like, you have to look at all of the variations. So you do have trustees for a trust. And had it been a trust, it would have been called the Moorish Science Trust of America, not the Moorish Science Temple of America. And when you're dealing with a religious corporation, as you know, and I'll share some links in the chat later to Arthur, if you kind of show me how to share some links, I'll be glad to do that. But when you look up the definitions of what we're talking about, you'll see the differences between a trustee of a trust, a corporate trustee, and a religious trustee. So that everybody plays a different function. And you'll also be able to see, if you look at, as you mentioned, the body politic, and I heard you go in on, you know, the Illinois Herd Statutes, Revised Statutes, Chapter 32, Section 35, or somewhere along those lines. And, you know, all of that stuff is great, but what you'll notice in there is it does not mention a trust. It does, however, mention a religious corporation and a body politic. And if you look up the definition of body politic, you will see corporation mentioned, you will see nation mentioned, you will see religious organization mentioned, but you will not find trust mentioned also. So I'll leave it there for now, and then, you know,
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. So, brothers, I hope you took all that in, my brother. Love L. What you have to add to that, my brother? You heard my question. My question is, can you show an earlier recording of all of that stuff that was on that .com website?
Islam. First of all, I'm not sure if, and see, this is the problem that we have, you know. You have someone come on here that says it's not a trust, even though we just pulled up evidence and I just showed you and walked you step by step to show you that it's a trust. So the government website shows you that 1010-5905 is a trust. And the way it's set up, the reason why you're seeing different documents come up under it is because you can file different things like property and real estate and index it under that particular trust. All right. I heard about some things that, you know, about Moorish Law Services and the Star Spangled Banner. And I just was wondering if you could explain to me what qualifies this brother to be able to say whether or not that is a trust. Because see, from my understanding of a trust, when you look up trust, it can be a trust. It doesn't necessarily have to say that it's a trust in order for it to be a trust. So let's be clear about that. And this is part of the reason why I asked the question. If you were going to have some attorneys on this show, or someone that at least has the competency of an attorney, because it's clear that you and the brother that just spoke do not have competency and no understanding as far as how this trust is working and how it's set up. So how could you or that brother Hernandez Ill even make a claim or statement like that? Is he a lawyer? Is he an attorney? Has he been to any type of school to qualify himself? But you know the determination of whether or not this is a trust. And then to make statements about the when you see the word trustee there and it's lined out in sheets. See, first of all, let me say this again so the audience can be clear. It does not have to say that it is a trust in order for it to be a trust. It doesn't have to say the Moorish Science of America Trust. And by the way, it can be a trust and a body politic. No one that you have invited on this show to rebut what I'm saying is qualified enough to even speak on these matters. Okay? First of all, I don't even know what company that brother's a member of, how he received it. He's an adept. You already know from your research of me that I have been, as far as, you know, through this various Moorish circles. So who has he been with? Is it the brother Way Hill or someone, I believe? So we can really break down and go into where we coming from. As far as the Moorish flag, this is the flag of the present Moroccan Empire. So when we say Star Spangled Banner, we're speaking as if the Moorish flag is the sovereign flag of these shores, sir, not the banner, sir, because you can only have one sovereign flag in a particular land area mass, sir. So let's be clear about that. So we're talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. Let us refer to the Religious Corporation Act. And that can be referenced in Smith-Hurd Revised Statutes. If you look at the bottom of this, it says Smith-Hurd Revised Statutes, Chapter 32, Section 36. See, this is what we're going to do, straight up law. And if you go into Section 35, it says that any organization under this template, if you will, becomes and shall remain a corporate body politic. Okay, that's what it says, all right? And this is the law. This is the statutory, Illinois statutory law that we're referring to. This ain't no pipe dream, sir. This is the Religious Corporation Act. And as far as it being a trust, I believe I sent some information that refers to trust and fiduciaries. So
can I ask you a question? While you teaching, though, can you show me what have you benefited after you discovered this trust? What have you benefited? What have you the property, the land, and anything else? You show me some stuff.
I'll give you one clear example. You yourself said that you were brought into a recognition, or you figured me out when you saw that the Moorish Law Services kicked into action. Well, the Moorish Law Services is one of those benefits that comes from the trust, the Moorish Science Temple of America Trust. In fact, when we first found out about this document, it was one of the good sisters down in the basement tract department that says that you use this in court. So that is one of the greatest benefits of this document in court. And helping people to save their properties from foreclosure, we actually recommend that the people transfer their property to the Moorish Science Temple of America under the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's trust, and that can be done in various ways.
Brother, you haven't proven yet. You keep holding up the document that you have, but you haven't given us nothing tangible besides that grainy document that you have.
We need something tangible, brother. Islam, coming from the sister, the one that's in the Prophet's arms. Islam to all the sisters out there. It is time for us to recognize, first of all, truth, okay? We can sit up here all night and we can play with what Allah has sent our holy and divine prophet to bring to us. Let's understand that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is in fact the prophet. Allah sent this man, okay, with our vast estate. Now, first of all, I like to bring the audience to this fact and their attention to this. This trust was hidden, okay? Understand, you're talking about what have you done and what does it mean, this grainy document. This trust, okay, this $100 billion worth of land, you want to talk about gross national product? What is the gross national product for the Moors here in North America? The Moorish American Muslims. I tell you what it is. It is land, people, okay? You are playing rich. Putting all jokes aside, Islam to the present Moroccan Empire. This was hid. This trust was hid. As a baby, I came in. They had a jacked up copy, okay, of your trust, okay, that the prophet left for you.
So sis,
you're supposed to be getting a check. As soon as the grand sheiks wake up, sisters, we could be paid, our babies could be protected, and the brothers are going to be forced to stand up and protect us all over the states. This is not a joke. This ain't nothing to play with, okay? I am honored, and I salute all the grand sheiks out there that know about this trust. I'm honored to be one of the grand sheikesses that can stand up and help to wake the people up, because once again, the battle cry is burial grounds for the Moorish American Muslims here in North America, okay? Those burial grounds is hitting like $12 or $14 a plot. And every temple is supposed to have one. Every temple is supposed to have a school. And these temples all over the states are supposed to be giving their members checks. Islam. So let's not play with this, okay? Because this is not our temple. This is not our document. Brothers and sisters, this is your salvation. You can keep playing with it.
I gotta mute the sister. And with all due respect, and I love the sister, I love the queen, man. I got a mother, I got a sister. But I'm just saying, listen, when we say stuff, sis, we need to know where this stuff is at that you're saying. If you say we have a trust and we have property, we have this, we need to know where it's at.
Got this brother going all that time. He couldn't even hear his sister for that long. You can't let the sister.
First of all, it's a male-dominated platform as it is.
No, sis, I want you to
tell me that
what you're saying.
I'm in the Prophet's arms and I can't get my drawing. It is, first of all, I need to listen in order to understand, brother. I need to listen to the audience to understand that this document was hidden. Why are the grand sheiks up against it? Why is everybody so upset and don't know nothing about it? Because it was hidden, brother.
Listen, okay, I can accept that. But what I'm saying is, once you have a trust and there is property, there is finance connected to it, we want to know exactly where it's at. We pulled up a name that was, now I read on the website and I come to see that anybody can file anything on that for $2.50. Anybody can.
Brother, understand this, brother, to heart today, okay? I don't know what your background is in real estate, okay? But what I would suggest you do is you find yourself a real estate attorney, okay, a super attorney for that fact, with knowledge of trust law, because this is nothing to play with, okay?
Sis, right here, the fee table available by clicking here. Be sure to include your fee calculation. $2.25, terminal $2. You can file anything right here.
Yeah, they also said you could file a pair of socks down there at Cook County Recorded Deeds office. But we're talking about a man that Allah said
that this
without a vast estate.
Okay, well, see, that's why we were going into the abstract of title to explain how your title deed, which is in chapter 47 of the Circle 7 Koran, how it explains the conveyance of the land.
Who filed all those documents? The Prophet Noble Ali didn't file those in Cook County.
Well, okay, hold on. You mixing oranges and bananas. We're talking about the nature of the trust. You're going into the aspect of how things are indexed under the trust. That's the way the trust is supposed to work. I think that was the thing that Brother Hernandez-Hill said that made the most sense, when he said that he can understand how things can be indexed under the trust and how it's operation, how it's there as a sanctuary for any real estate or any property that we may have. Because in a speech that the prophet titled, "Think This Over, You Moors," he said that nothing should be in any individual name but in either his name or the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So that's another clue that he set up a trust for us. Islam?
And you can't talk about everything, brother, over this show, because the Moorish Divine and National Movement, this is supposed to be moves made by the sheiks and sheikesses. So the adept meetings, the sheik meetings, this is where the planning of the burial grounds, the schools, the hospitals, the checks to all the members, this is where this is planned at. Because the nations of the earth are not confused. It's the members and the leadership that need to wake up to understand how plain rich we are. Prophet Noble Ali did not lie. He was set by the great God, Allah.
And you know what? And let me say this for this matter. As far as any real estate ownership in this land, there has to be permission. If there was not permission granted in accordance to our law, what it says that the pharaohs of Egypt, it says, we, the Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt. So this is the truth, the case in any land. There has to be permission given. If none of these Europeans or these banks or any of these other entities had any permission, what they're operating under is the doctrine of discovery. That's not permission. Islam?
Brother, this is
not kind of understanding. We're here to work with our people, to help our people understand, not to put our people down. And it don't matter that
I disagree.
Are you a grand sheik, brother?
I respectfully disagree. This is not more science. You cannot show me where the prophet anything in the recorder's office. You show me something that was recorded and one was in 2013, one in 2010. You have shown no proof, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. You want me to listen to break down
with it? Hold on. I thought you
hadn't shown any proof.
Hold on. So wait a minute. This show, this platform, what quantifies you to be able to prove that we did not? How can you disprove that when you say you're not a lawyer?
Brother, I asked you that, brother, because you're not a lawyer either. You're only giving out.
Guess what? Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Before you say that, what we are in fact a lawyer. We're doing the things that lawyers do. We actually have cases pending before the bar.
I'm doing something lawyers do. I'm a target.
You may say that we're not lawyers, but we're doing what lawyers do. Islam, for the record.
I mean, brother, you're entitled to your opinion.
But that's your opinion, though, and that's fine.
But at the end of the day, Allah sent the prophet that trust represents. And you should see.
Again, this is not meant to be easy. A soldier without a foe never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. You see, the prophet, being a prophet, knew that there would have to be work put in. That's why he said the third and fourth generations would see the good of his works, because he understood that we would have to gain a trust perspective of his works.
Brother, I'm going to call that prophet tomorrow. and I'm going to find out who filed that document. I'm going to do that with a show that I'm doing with the one where the brother, they got a right to travel office in DC, and people keep showing this paper they know about. In actuality, the daggone place is a place, a restaurant, Southwest. I'm going to bring both of that in, and I'm going to show that those documents are bogus. You know, and I know. You may know some people filed them for $2.50.
No, I'm going to tell you what's bogus. I'm going to tell you what's bogus. I'm going to tell you what's bogus. What's bogus is people calling themselves sheiks and not knowing that they're supposed to have the powers and duties similar to that of a trustee. What's bogus is people utilizing their platform and playing with the program of the prophet. Because in fact, he did set up the trust, and it was set up for us to have schools, burial grounds, camping grounds, and this can be verified by the Religious Corporation Act. Just based on the Illinois statutory law, the provisions for that has been made available. So if we want to keep playing games, we still need burial ground. Let me ask you a question, sir. Has your leadership, has your Grand Sheik set up provisions for you and your family to have insurance for a burial ground, so when that time comes for you and your household? What about all the other Moors? What about Hernandez Ill? Have your Grand Sheik prepared your plots for you to make sure you don't have to worry about that? Or do you have to go to some church to get buried? See, we need to quit playing with this. We need to stop being so critical of each other and look at each other and say, wait a minute, brother, what do you have to?
Thanks for asking.
Ask me a question, so I got to answer. And then I'll let Hernandez Ill answer too. First of all, the reason why we don't have these things set up is because of situations like this. We got to make pit stops to address a bunch of nonsense, when in actuality, we should be working hard and creating our own situation, not trying to depend on some bogus lie and saying that the prophet left some trust that you can't even show me where the prophet filed the trust. The original filing of any.
You gotta mute me. Why you gotta mute me if what you said is so true? Correct.
So the point of the matter is, more sons temple.
Now that's a lie, because you just looked up the trust online.
North Side Temple.
You just pulled up the trust on the website, and you gonna lie to people like that? Islam, you can't do that, brother. That's not right. We live off the 1, 2, freedom and justice. That ain't true, bro. That ain't true, brother. How you gonna come? That's a lie, brother. That's a lie. You just pulled up the trust. Then you gonna try to keep using it.
Now look, this is the problem.
That's not righteous, bro. That's not. And you know, if you're gonna invite somebody on your program and platform, you don't need to.
You gotta let me answer. You gotta let me answer. And you answer that other question. Come on, brother. You gonna get the flow back in a minute. And that's it. You had something to say?
Yeah, actually, you know, first thing is that none of my questions were actually answered. There was a lot of logical fallacy employed just then. He used things like dogmatism, begging the question, which is a circular argument. He also used emotional appeal and fallacy of exclusion. Let me give the family some examples.
Hold up, bro. I told you I'm a simple man. I don't know what you're talking about. God bless.
So I'm gonna break it down. So, for example, begging the question, a circular argument. This is basically repeating the claim, never providing support for the premises, or in other words, repeating the same argument over and over again, often dogmatic. Thinkers don't even realize this is a fallacy. Also, he used dogmatism, the willingness to even consider the opponent's argument, the assumption that even when many, perhaps millions of other people believe otherwise, only you can be correct. This is closely related to the either or fallacy, as it's based on usually false assumptions that competing theories or perspectives cannot coexist within simple systems. The assumptions that those who disagree with you are biased while you are objective. Basically, that's just saying, like I said, a body politic cannot be a trust. When you read your section 36 or 35, you said it. As you said, it is a corporate body politic. You did not say it's a trust body politic. It does not exist, brother. It's just that simple. Or the prophet would have said, like I said earlier, it's the Moorish Science Trust of America, not the Moorish Science Temple of America. And in fact, when you're dealing with holding property and things of that nature, doing all business through the temple, as the prophet instructed, then you would have to put your property in the temple, not in the trust. The temple's holding potential far outseeds and outweighs anything that a trust could do. I mean, I'll leave it at that, because my original questions never were dealt with. He didn't deal with the fact.
I don't think it will be answered either, brother, because as you said, brother, he keep on pounding the same argument and is not producing any evidence. And the sister, she follows suit. And I mean, respect to the queen. You know what I mean? I just disagree respectfully. I totally disagree. We need proof in these things. I'm going to turn this mic back on so the brother can demonstrate. But I wanted to ask the brother not only about the trust, because I don't think we're going to get too far with this trust thing. I want to know people about the trust. I don't think he really understands that only him and a few people are buying the trust, and I think he's trying to gain support with the trust.
In fact, brother, before you go on, can you please just touch on the other brother that had been dealing with this whole trust idea that the prophet left this vast estate from out of Baltimore? Because I've known about that brother for quite some time too. Can you elucidate what happened with that situation?
I'm trying to think, brother. You know, in Baltimore, we got a couple. I'm trying to think. I remember one brother just came in the temple and was telling us about a trust. But in Baltimore, we got all sorts of groups in Baltimore. So which one?
It was a brother that recently, he had been pushing it at least since the 90s. And more recently, I heard that it all kind of crumbled down, and he was, facing some serious situations behind that situation.
I don't know, but I'm not sure about that, brother. But I know we've had brothers to walk in the temple and try to sell us on a trust and try to teach a class on it. And my main question has always been what you have received, and nobody can show anything.
And my thing is this: we should be using the temple as it was instructed by the prophet before we branch off and start putting trust on it. And like I said, our people are not in a position to start setting up their trust, because we don't have planes, trains, and automobiles, so to speak, at this point in time. So it's not really there's no place for that. When you look at typically what you call a trust fund baby, we're talking about a child who is about to inherit a lot of money.
That's right.
So it's synonymous with wealth. Trust is. So not that we aren't wealthy in general, and not that we don't have the potential to gain these things, but as a unit, there's a lot more work that has to be done. And I think although I do think it is a valuable tool to use, I don't negate that at all. But I will say that is not what the temple is, and that's where I stand on it. And as far as where I stand in, I come into the movement almost 20 years ago in Atlanta, Temple 21, just to clear that up. Islam.
I'm about to unmute the brother Mike, but brother, I want the brother also to at least touch on how you defend somebody who pled guilty to selling what Europeans have called drugs, weed, or whatever. He pled guilty, agreed to it. So I'm gonna put the brother back on. Are you there, my brother?
Islam, I would appreciate if I'm not muted prematurely.
Bro, I did that because you asked the question and then you kept talking. You know what I mean?
No, that's not fair. That's not fair, because just because you don't agree with the responses don't mean you have a right to mute me unjustly. That's not fair, bro. So let me say this. I've heard you let people rant on and on and on. But then this truth hit like hot coals, you want to mute me. That's fine though, brother.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead, brother. Then I got my question when you
let me explain what a trust is, okay? So to be clear, because that seems like you brought people on that refuse to qualify themselves and that are extremely incompetent. So a trust is something that's merely created for the benefit of another. That's all the trust is, okay? To be clear, Now, all of this ranting and raving going all back and forth, no one's spoken about. Well, what is actually a trust? A trust is something that's created for the benefit and use of another. That's all it simply is. And we understand that while anybody can create a trust, the Prophet of Allah, Noble Drew Ali, created an express trust. Now, he brought up an individual. This also further proves the incompetence of the individual that you brought to the show today. The individual that you're speaking of is Frank Lucille Bay, who's referred to himself as a trustee in Baltimore, Maryland, all right? He was the one that brought up the concept of the express trust of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the ultimate trust. And yes, we did do extensive research on his works. And the only thing that he didn't get right with what he was doing was the fact that he was not a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America officially. All right. Now, the good brother says that I did not address his questions with regards to the trust. And you said something about us not being able to prove that it produced anything. But the fact of the matter is the fact that we're talking about the trust today is what we have done. The fact that this has been added 101's the correct version of it, it's been done, it's been found, is something that can testify to what we're doing. The fact that we can go into the court system and represent the members, irregardless to media or may have to say about the annual avalanche of lies, because let's also be clear that the media has also been attempting to link the Moorish Science Temple of America and active members of the Moorish Science Temple of America inclined towards civics to sovereign citizens, the sovereign citizen mumbo jumbo movement. We have nothing to do with that. The sovereign citizen movement is born about and brought about as a result of Europeans trying to be sovereign where they cannot be sovereign. They can only be sovereign in Europe, and that's doubtable too. They cannot be sovereign here. The Europeans cannot be Americans because they don't come from America. When the Prophet speaks of true American citizens, he's speaking of those that are citizens of North, South, and Central America. When we're speaking about the trust, we're referring to the present Moroccan Empire because we are heirs and beneficiaries to that trust. This man came on the platform talking about trust babies. See, that shows me that he really don't clearly understand what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did for us. And it's a shame and fact that he's been in the temple for 20 years and he has no understanding of it, but yet will come on the platform and attempt to discredit what the Prophet has done because it's not, he didn't literally claim it to be a trust. Do you think that he was going to let all his foes and his enemies know exactly what he did? That the Prophet wasn't wise. Of the great God Allah, you know, a lot of his foes missed it. They missed it. He did the cross. He broke the ankles. It was like a crossover move on the basketball court. They thought he was going to let him. He went right on. Okay, and that's what the trust was created for the purpose and the benefit of future generations, so that it could hold. It had the ability to hold the present Moroccan Empire and extract pieces of it as we would need it for the use and benefit of the members, as it relates to the statutes that's set up in Illinois, and that corresponds with all the other states through the Monroe Doctrine. See, you have to have enough understanding to be able to critique what we're doing and the research that we put and invest into, having an understanding that the Prophet did set us up a trust. He didn't have to label it a trust. He also explained that he didn't tell us and explain everything to us. He also explained to us that we were going to have to study. He said, in order to be a good Moorish leader, you must study the Koran and the divine constitution and bylaws, which I've handed down unto you. So that means that it was going to come to a point where we would break down. It would unfold as the blood unfolds, like it says in our lessons, chapter 1. This is an unfoldment. This is how we got to understand of the trust. I'm going to take y'all to another chapter that explains the trust. Chapter 28. Chapter 28 speaks about the fiduciary duties. As a matter of fact, it mentions the word fiduciary not once, not twice, but 3 times. And so let me just be clear about this. Okay, it says, Repine not, O man, at the state of servitude. It is the appointment of Allah, and have many advantages. It removeth thee from cares and the solicitudes of life. Now it's coming the first time. The honor of a servant is his fidelity. Fidelity is a trust word. His highest virtues are submission and obedience. Be patient, therefore, under the reproofs of thy master. And when he rebuketh thee, answer not again. Thy silence of thy resignation shall not be forgotten. Be studious in his interest. Be diligent in his affairs, that being a trust. And faithful to the trust which he reposes in thee. There's the word trust in our lessons. So deny that. You can't deny that. And that's chapter 28, verse 4. Now, moving on. Thy time and thy labor belong unto him. Defraud him not thereof, for he payeth thee for them. And thou who art master, be just to thy servant if thou expected from him fidelity. There's that word, fidelity again. And reasonable in thy commands if thou expected ready obedience. Bet you ain't heard it like this before, sir. The spirit of man is in him. Severity and rigor may create fear, but can never command love. Mix kindness with reproof, and reason with authority. So shall thy admonitions take place in his heart, and his duty shall become his pleasure. He shall serve thee faithfully. From the motive of gratitude, he shall obey thee cheerfully, and from the principle of love, and fail thou not in return to give his diligence and fidelity, the final word, the final time, fidelity, their proper reward. So see, we got the trust language right in our literature, but we have to study to be able to point it out and get deeper into it. So if we are, and that's great, I think that's a wonderful thing that the brother is showing the literature that, and we are supposed to produce literature. I think that's a great thing. But as we have a better understanding of the prophet's literature, then that would make the literature that we produce that much more better. And even beyond that, it gives us access to this land. See, because see, that's the greatest aspect of understanding this, what this trust is all about.
We got about 10 minutes.
Brother.
We got about 10 minutes.
Go ahead, brother.
And I listened to you, brother. I listened to you take the Quran and brother, you diced and chopped it up. You made, you took words and made it legal terms. It's tons of words that can be transposed into legal terms in the Quran. I mean, tons of them. I mean, come on.
Just say some kung fu. Moorish kung fu, though. And hey,
but brother. I need to get back to my question real quick. You said that marijuana is just a plant, right? Oh, it's a plant that they call marijuana.
No, it's not what I say, brother. Hold on. Let me qualify that. It's not what I say. Let's be clear.
I'm quoting
it's just like you asked me. You say 2 + 2 is 4. No, sir. It is mathematically proven a fact that 2 + 2 is 4. It is a fact that marijuana is a plant. Sir, it's not what I said. Okay? Islam.
Is cocaine a plant? Is cocaine a plant?
Islam. Cocaine is not a plant. It's a chemical substance. Islam.
So
it comes from the coca leaf.
So okay, now let me finish. Okay. So the coca leaf is a chemical substance too.
There is a chemical substance in coca leaf that's broken down into the powder of cocaine, but that's something different. We're talking about something different now. We're talking about plants and marijuana being plants. So what you trying to get at, brother?
So do you smoke marijuana?
Islam?
Do you smoke marijuana?
I mean, it's just like if they said they was running this brother to the joint for spinach or for lettuce.
Do you smoke marijuana?
Smoke marijuana?
Yeah.
Do you?
No, absolutely not.
Well, let me say this, and this is as far as I'm going to go with it. I do consume the plant, yes, but that's as far as I'm going to go with saying it.
Okay, do you realize that the prophet said that you must not be under any mind-altering substance that may cause to be detrimental?
No, sir. No, sir. Listen, I said as a when it's consumed, it can be consumed as a tea. It can be consumed in a medicinal perspective. This is from for medicinal purposes. It's not about things like that. It's a tea or something like that, sir. No. Now I asked you a question.
Yes, sir.
Since you asked me that, because I noticed that you are you have a lot of hyperness going on. Are you on any substances?
No, absolutely not. I take it as anything, anytime.
Right. So let me ask you another question. Because I noticed you've been trying to avoiding the trust questions and everything. Tell Pro, are you with the CIA, FBI, Homeland Security? None of those. Are they with you?
No.
Are they with you?
No,
People that you've ever brought on the platform, or are they?
No.
Are they with any of those individuals?
Not at all, brother. I can bring some thugs and some G's to show you who I am, to qualify who I am. I can bring them to this platform. It's not a big deal. I'm talking about that's still in the life that can qualify me. That's still in the life.
What does this got to do with providing help for the sisters?
The point of the matter, what I'm trying to get to is this, brother. Why would you put the name Moorish Science Temple of America on a case where a brother pleaded no contest to
First of all, you don't know. Hold on, he never pleaded no contest. That's again, you're going into what the media said. They put that plea in for that brother, and that's as far as I'm gonna go to say with that. And don't act as if this is something that hasn't been done before within the systems, brother. Please don't act as if they won't put a plea on him and force him and say, well, this is what he did. Now they appointed an attorney for him, and the attorney put that in for him. He did not agree to that. And this is part of the reason why we took the case, because the state did not do things in accordance to procedure properly. And first of all, the state of Florida is not flawless. I mean, they have a lot to pay for.
So where you at?
I mean, come on. So, and then too, hold on. They have the state, as I said before, when we first came on the platform, the state is guilty, as all the states are, of wrongfully labeling Moors as chattel property, that being Negroes, blacks, colored, African Americans. This is part of the reason why you had the situation with Trayvon Martin down there. He was under the designation of the status of chattel property. Yes, sir?
Where are you at with the case? What's going on with the case?
So you say what's going on with the case?
Yeah.
Okay, brother. We're not at liberty to discuss the particulars of the case right now. So we know to protect the integrity of the clients. As I said before, Moorish Law Services. Well, you know, if you brought an attorney on your platform, we're not going to. You know, you already know that there's a certain understanding that the attorney or person that's taking on a case as counsel is supposed to have with their client. So when they share information with you, they're supposed to be confident. That's supposed to be with their confidence. You understand?
Brother, with all due respect, you really made me think. Brother, you didn't qualify. I'm talking about, look, we was on here with Mary Kush, right? And I can say, I disagree with Mary Kush too. But those brothers, they were standing on a point. I could follow their theme.
I'm glad you brought them up. I'm glad you brought them up. You brought those brothers on this platform, and they came on speaking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's death certificate. But not once did I hear about any solutions about burial ground. Not once did I hear any solutions for the sisters, the schools, the campgrounds that we need, and all the vital things that we need as a people, the land, more importantly. I didn't hear anything about the accomplishments of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and what he did.
All right, then we're going to do. Brother, in closing, it's going on 11, brother. I don't think we covered anything. I'm not convinced that there's a trust. I believe that somebody filed these things in that website for $2.25. That's just what I believe. I could be wrong.
Your beliefs are not true, brother. That's just your belief. That's what it is. But the truth is, it's a trust. The truth is that it is a trust. And you went to.
I believe, I'm going to let the brother talk in a second. I believe that somebody filed these documents. I'm gonna let you talk. The reason why I believe that somebody filed these documents is because right here, if you go to this website, it says you can file for $2.25. You know what I mean? It says, can I mail in my document for recording? You can mail in the original document for recording. Be sure to include, etc., etc. What information is required to be recorded on the document? All property documents must have property identification number, a complete legal description, available from the county clerk office. If we go and look up these properties, just as the brother did, these properties are not owned by the brother, nor is it owned by Prophet Noble Drew Ali and was handed down to him or anybody else. It's just crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And now we are selling ourselves on a trust that really doesn't exist. I'm going to do further research and I'm going to prove it don't exist. That this is just another thing that we are doing to try to be somebody that we're not. The real work must come from us getting our life together and putting some real bricks and boots on the ground and changing our situation. Period, point blank. Now, I'm going to give the brother 5. I'll give the sister 5. And then we're going to close this out and I'll give Hernandez L 5. And we'll go from there. You know what I mean? We'll go from there. So, brother, the floor is yours. You got 5 minutes, my brother. Express your trust. Let's go.
Islam. All praise due to Allah. We give honors to this platform for allowing us to express the research that we've done over the years. Again, the listening audience will take note of the fact that you did go to the website to pull up the trust, and your audience will be able to bear witness that it is an official Cook County Recorder of Deeds website that they can go to look up the Prophet's Trust. So important, most important thing that I want to impress on everybody is that as leaders, as grand sheiks and sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America, your leader is supposed to share a relationship with you. They're supposed to be providing houses, burial grounds, camping grounds. I'm going to have the sheiks go over the platform real quickly once again, so that you will see what's supposed to be the comprehensive things that's discussed. We've been hearing a lot of things about, coming from a lot of people about the Prophet, but on this platform, on this show, even though the host was disappointed, we hope that the listening audience was more impressed with the fact that this administration is bringing the actual facts of what the platform of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is supposed to be, that being burial grounds, camping grounds, schools, and businesses that we control, creating jobs for our people and businesses that we control, rather than getting caught up in useless rhetoric about who's the grand this and who did this back in 1920, blah, blah, blah. We're dealing with the here and the now. And we've done the research to qualify it, and we've been operating within the adept chamber and within third heaven. Within Moorish Mecca, we actually have cases pending before the court or the Science Temple of America as a body politic. So while all these other people bumping their guns, we putting in work and we making things occur the way it's supposed to, because law governs all events. So while everybody's running their trap and talking crazy, we actually putting the work in. We got the court documents in. We have the legacy. You can look it up on the record. You can see it. We putting the court documents in here in Moorish Mecca. We're doing that. And while everybody's talking, we're working. Islam. Sister?
Islam, praise Allah and His Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the forerunner, Marcus Garvey. I like to read the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation in honor of all the members that are listening, because at the end of the day, we are one. Ye are the children of one Father, provided for by His care. And the breasts of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers. And peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity. And prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. I like to tell all the brothers and sisters out there that I love you with a love that will never die. And I am honored to have been chosen, to have found the trust that had been hidden since 1928. Finding it was one job, and getting our people to believe that they're plain rich, you better know it, it's another job. But all we could do, brothers and sisters, is plant the seed, because it is Allah, the great God, the Father, gives that seed the increase. So it don't matter what nobody think today. It don't matter about the opinions of people, members, and grand sheiks and sheikesses that have no knowledge, because it is Allah that give that measure of understanding. And he appointed the portion which seemed good unto himself. So it's only a remnant that's going to make it. But praise Allah for this platform that the brother provided us with to let that remnant know. Because we know that the blood is going to rise up to the horse's eyebrow, but not before our children, that third and fourth generation, resurrect and get, and that is those checks. And brothers and sisters, all you got to do is keep your eyes open and watch, because Allah is God, that trust was sent, and the foreigners know, okay, they know it is our stubborn, stiff-necked brothers and sisters that refuse to bring us about this false poverty. And sisters, it is us that suffer with our babies while these brothers debate from show to show, measuring their, whatever they're measuring, you understand, telling the children lies and denying the fact, rather than doing your research, study, and investigation and say, well, let me look a little bit deeper, because man know not by being told. So don't tell me what your grand sheik told you or what some grand sheik told him. You better know for yourself and quit playing, because Allah is God. These are the last days, and all shall see. Peace and blessings to the nations of the earth. Peace to all grand sheiks and sheikesses that's standing on truth, because we do have our people out here that know. Peace to my grand sheik, Sheikh Loville. We have invested much time into this movement, and Allah is definitely not going to let the prophet fall, and he's not going to let his children fall. Once again, more as you're playing reach, members, do your research, study, and investigation, because anybody can be wrong, you understand? And it's not your grand sheik fault that they don't know, but I want every grand sheik and sheikas out there to know our hearts are open. Moorish Law Services at gmail.com. You can inbox us in Messenger or Moorish Science Temple of America at gmail.com. Have no shame. This is your money. Now, don't come running when you see those checks popping off of different people. Don't come running, y'all, okay? Because you already know this is your trust. Don't be denied what's your birthright. Peace.
Peace. I love y'all. We
love
all
you,
y'all.
boys. Love you.
Love
you.
the Savior of the world. That's right.
Islam.
Islam.
So, brother, are you there, my brother? Are you there, my brother?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I just want to just a few quick.
Echo. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I just want to end with a few quick statements. You know, the brother made a mention of chapter, I believe that was 48, you know, or was that 28, if I'm not mistaken. And he found the word trust one time in the circle 7 and tried to intimate that because of that one word, trust, being in the circle 7, that it makes the temple of trust. That is not so. And I saw no evidence to the contrary. What I would also like to state is the brother mentioned the word fidelity being used a few times. I don't know if my screen is sharing. Can you all see that?
There it is. All
right. So fidelity is faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. The brother made took a shot at me, you know, and I don't know the brother, so I wouldn't do the same to him. But what I will say is that, you know, I stand on the prophet's teaching every day, and I'm here to not only support the prophet's teachings, but to defend the prophet's teachings. And when I feel like something is not right, I will do my best to correct it. And so tonight I have shown and proven on several occasions that the temple itself is not a trust. However, I did qualify the fact that the temple can be used as a trust and that the sheiks do act as trustees of this religious organization and corporation, which I also expressed. There's not just one type of trustee. Trustees don't only belong to trust, but also to corporations and also to religious organizations and religious corporations, as the Herd's revised statutes will detail, as far as going into the body politic as well. I'd also like to state that and it's been done before, and I'm not taking a shot again, but I will say that, as you can see here, the brother is, as it says here, affidavit of amendment, appointment of successor to the Holy Prophet Drew Ali, designation of beneficiaries. So this document seems to state that Brother Love Ill has self-appointed himself as the successor to the prophet. And, that I just can't rock with, So one last thing I'd like to touch on for those of you who have looked up the trust tonight, and if, maybe you saw it and was like, okay, that's interesting. I want to look further into it. What I will say is that if you look into it, notice that you will not see the prophet's signature. The prophet did not sign any of those documents. The prophet did not file such a trust. But you will see, when you look into the Moorish Science Temple filing at the Secretary of State of Illinois website, you will see the prophet and his actual incorporation that he put together, that is the Moorish Science Temple of America. And with that, I say peace.
Peace. Brother, that sums it up, brother. You just took the wind out my sails, because I had something to say. But nevertheless, I'm going to say it anyway. Family, look, let me tell y'all something. I'm just a regular guy. You know what I mean? I'm just a regular guy. I love the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I love the work that come with being a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Brothers, family, let me just share something with you real quick. Let me just go to my page real quick, and I just want to share something with you. I love the work that comes with being a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm not tripping off no trust. I'm about, we gonna get some money. We gonna do it together in unity. This is the Grand Sheik of Temple 34. This is the Grand Sheik of Temple 25, Michigan. Fuquan Bay. You know what I mean? This is the twins. They're from Virginia, the Allendale brothers. That's my brother Suel. The twins again. You know what I mean? Me at Temple number 11 in Philadelphia, talking to the people, trying to uplift Father humanity by the way of demonstrating the prophet's lessons within the temple setting. This is Temple number 11. That's me again. This is going to be canceled, family. I'm going to do a show on it tomorrow or Tuesday, but this is actually canceled. But I'm just sliding through, folks. This is Suel. This is his wife. This is me. This is what I love. Building family. That is the Supreme Grand Sheik of Unity Temple. My brother Tyrone Bay. This is what I'm talking about. Brothers that's doing the work. This brother do the work. I'm not tripping off filing no paperwork for no trust that don't exist. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Doing the work, man. Let me go on to some of these more pictures, man. More signs is this is me. This is me and my sons on our way to the temple. I'm talking about family. This is the trust I'm looking for. Family. You know what I mean? This is me and Grand Sheik and Divine Minister C.J. Shaw L. out of the Mecca, doing the work on the highways and the byways. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. This is my brother Basil. I forget my other brother name, but shout out to my brother, man. I ain't seen him in a minute. It's all good, though. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is the family, man. This is real work. This is my brother here from Baltimore, my brother Lyle L. you know what I mean, on their way to the temple. But this is what I'm talking about when we talking about more signs. Man, we're not talking about filing a whole bunch of paperwork. We're talking about getting that work. You know what I mean? We're talking about getting that work done. We're talking about coming together as a community. We're talking about building something in real time. We ain't talking about trying to find out what was left over. We're not talking about that. You know what I mean? If you find it, show me when you got it. Once you got it, show it to me so we can utilize it. Don't keep talking about it exists and you are paying rent somewhere and you are living in less than mediocre conditions. Don't tell me that. If you're catching a ride somewhere, if you got a trust, then hold up now. You shouldn't be catching a ride. You know what I mean? You should be having the ride. I don't know. If it exists, I don't believe it do. But if it do, you have to show and prove. You have to be the message that you bring. If you say the prophet has a trust and that you are the real Moorish Science Temple of America, then you should have that trust, you know, within your home, within your car, within your dress, within your talk. You should be uniting people, building the school, finding the cemetery, finding some land for the cemetery. You understand what I'm saying? You get my point. Other than that, brother, we don't believe you. And then going to up against the municipalities of Florida with a brother clearly, and you can pull that up too. He clearly pled no contest. You clearly like that herb. Not more science, brother. Nor am I convinced that you are demonstrating more science. I'm not convinced. That doesn't mean that you're not my brother. That doesn't mean that I don't love you the same. But separating truth from falsehood, nothing that you said is more science. Nothing. Not one word is more science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Not one word you said. Not none. The sister, however, the best thing that the sister said with all due respect is at the end with the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. And I believe that sister is sure that we are the children of one father and the breast of one mother have given us son. I'm convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt. But she's also convinced that there's something waiting in the form of a trust. And there we go again, chasing the pie in the sky. We jump straight from one ideology of pie in the sky to another one. That's not more science. That's not more science, family. And with that, I said peace and love. As my brother Morel Antonio say, trust yourself. Get with some Moors that's ready to work. And let's work and build our Moorish world. Stop falling for the okie doke. We must stop falling for the okie doke. If you're not ready to work, step aside and let the workers work. You know what I mean? If you're not ready to pool your resources, step aside and let those who are ready to pool their resources to build their community where Moors can live amongst each other. Step aside. Let's stop confusing people. Let those who are willing to work, work for the better of the Moorish world. Period, point blank. With that, I said peace and love, my family. I love y'all. I'm coming back on tomorrow. As I said, we canceled the event in North Carolina for circumstances beyond our control. However, we have another event coming in ATL right behind it. We will be talking about that probably tomorrow, Tuesday. Cottrell, North Carolina. Email me, my brother. Yahoo.com. Me and my brother, Gabriel Hernandez, we'll see what we can do to get to Cottrell, North Carolina. And any other brothers that's willing to step to the forefront and represent this unity piece. We ready to work. You know what I mean? Period, point blank. Other than that, family, I'm up out of here. I see y'all tomorrow or maybe Tuesday, and we're going to talk about something. Hopefully, we can get a brother that's on the card for our ATL presentation to come on the show. And this is a powerful brother. Y'all seen him on side of the TV, and he was taking out. He was taking out that Black Power demonstration.
You know what's so deep?
He took out the hidden Black Power demonstration. And I ain't gonna release his name yet. I'll release that Monday or Tuesday. But with that, peace and love, family. I see y'all soon. One.